Monday Night Football got an absolute lock. Let's get after it. Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Craig Bennett, aka Cash Cake, back with an NFL Prize Picks video. I'm not feeling so hot right now, but I thought I'd get a video out for you guys. Like I said, got an absolute lock. It's going to be everybody's lock, but I just don't see how it goes under as long as they're going to continue to play this way. So we'll drop that pick. Got 3 plays for you here that we'll talk about. If you don't have that PrizePicks account, use that promo code CashCake and get 100% instant deposit match up to $100. A link is in the description below. And hey, let's just get right after this and talk about these 3 plays. Let's go. All right, PrizePicks desktop is up here. I got 3 plays for you. We're going to talk about the first one that is probably the weakest of the 3 in my opinion. I really wanted to talk about some Bengals, but we just don't know about Joe Burrow. I think he's going to play. They're 0-2. They have to have a win. He's the kind of guy that's going to do everything in his power to go out there. I'm sure we'll know a little bit later, but recording this video pretty early in the morning, we don't have that information, so it's going to be really hard for me to recommend any Bengals until we have that situation. I kind of like Chase, but again, it's one of those things where until I know that news, I'm not going to put any money on anything. So the first one we're going to look at here, though, we're going to go to Chris Godwin. The Phillies favored by, I think, 5 right now. They opened up 6.5. I think this is going to be a trailing game script. Again, yesterday, we hit on Tank Dell very easily, but I didn't expect Houston to go in there and beat Jacksonville. So people are saying, talking about CJ Stroud chalked. Well, of course he did. If you thought that they were going to win that game, you should have put all the money in the world on Houston to win. But I figured they'd be playing from behind. He still almost got there in pass attempts, by the way. And then, people were chirping at me about, Patrick Surtain against Hill and how he's going to shut him down. And it was like, they're pretty quiet after Hill absolutely burned him. I don't care who you put on Hill, man to man. That dude is going to burn everybody. So, I just always find it funny in the comments. And again, you build these games, you build this out of game script. You build these out of what you think is going to happen. If you don't feel like, if you feel like Tampa Bay is going to go out there and actually punish Philly, well, then I wouldn't play heavy on the passing game, right? You want in trailing game scripts is where I'm looking for, pass attempts and things like that. So keep that in mind when you're making these, and use that information to make these slips, not just blindly play things. And then if they chalk, not understanding why they did. Like, you should go back to your slips and your picks at the end of the day and kind of figure out what's going on. But anyways, let's go to Chris Godwin here. Again, I think they're going to be in a trailing game script. Vegas does, of course, as well. If we look at the first 2 games, he was 5 for 6, 6 targets, caught 5 balls for 51 yards. And then against the Bears, caught 5 balls, 7 targets for 58 yards. Again, I think there's going to be a trailing game script. They've played 2 horrible teams really defensively in Chicago and Minnesota. Chicago's absolute a dumpster fire. If we saw what they did against KC, I mean, when you sit Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, 4 minutes left in the third quarter. I mean, good. That's just horrible. But anyways, Chris Godwin here at 53.5. I think this is a spot where, playing from behind, Chris Godwin kind of likes to sit in that zone, more things over the middle where, Mike Evans is more the down the field kind of guy. So Kate Otten and Chris Godwin are the guys that are going to kind of catch things over the middle. And if that Philly D line gets after him, he's going to have to get the ball out of his hands a little bit quicker. So I kind of like more of Chris Godwin and Kate Otten if you're looking for a play on the Tampa Bay side. So I do like this one. It's probably, out of the 3, it's my least favorite. Like I said, I'd really go on the Bengals side here, but until we know Joe Burrow, I'm not going to go there. Next one we're going to look at here is we're going to go to A.J. Brown. Now, I think there's a couple ways you can go here. You can go receptions or receiving yards, or you can even go fantasy score. Those are the 3 that I'm looking at. But we're going to bring up and we're going to talk about receptions. Now, they went and played Minnesota last week, And if you saw that game at all, you kind of saw A.J. Brown chirping a little bit on the sidelines because he wasn't getting the ball, but they really didn't need him to get the ball because they were doing so well. So it's like one of those things where, wide receivers can be divas. We all know that. And it's a spot where, if you're winning, there's no reason, like, it's all about winning, I mean, the running game was working really well last week for Philly. Swift ran for 28 carries for 175 yards, so they didn't need the passing game. Here against Tampa Bay, it's always kind of been a pass funnel, so I think this is where it switches around a little bit. I think, Hurts is going to get him the ball early and often here, and this 5 receptions is too low. You can get a 4.5 on the books out there somewhere. At 4.5, I'd absolutely smash it. At 5, I still like it. Like I said, receptions or yards, this is a good bounce back spot for them. Again, they're buddies. It's not like they're, but, competition comes out there, chirping a little bit on the sidelines. I definitely think he gets him going here. Game 1 against New England, again, 9 targets, caught 7 balls for 79. Then again to Minnesota, only 6 targets, 4 for 29. But again, that running game was absolutely a monster. So they just didn't need him. But great bounce back spot. Really like A.J. Brown here. Again, receptions, receiving yards, fantasy score. I think he gets in the box as well. Any of those. But I'm going to go with receptions here. I think it's the safest out of the bunch. But I'll probably do some mixing and matching. And then the last one we're going to go here. Again, this is going to be everyone's lock. You're going to see this everywhere. It's not a secret. You see everybody like, this is lock. Everybody's going to play this play because the line's just too stinking low. We're talking about Puka Nacua, 5.5 receptions. This line is just dumb. As long as they're going to continue to play like this, there's just no reason not to play this. He's had 14 targets and 19 targets in the first 2 games, catching 10 and 15 balls. Like, this line should be set at 7.5 at a minimum. I mean, I know we have a 2-week sample size going on here, but, we've seen Stafford do this with Cooper Kupp. So, they clearly got a connection. I mean, that's a ton of targets. 19 targets last week in San Francisco was ridiculous. So, again, you're going to see this everywhere. I'm going to have him about everything. I don't think it chalks. Again, everyone's going to be on this play, so it's nothing special. But I don't understand how this line is only at 5.5 with what we've seen with this offense, the way we've seen, the connection that they have. 5.5 just feels way too low. And again, the targets are just absolutely ridiculous. And if it continues to be like this, this line should be set at 7.5 at the bare minimum. So, really like this play. Everyone else is going to like this play, but it's one that I'm really going to jump on. Again, Puka Nacua, over 5.5 receptions, be number 1. A.J. Brown, number 2, if you're looking for a 2-man. And then Chris Godwin is the 3rd play here. So those are 3 plays that I do like. Again, everybody asked what I should do with these. I'm just giving you 3 plays here that I do like. You do what you want with them. I've already locked in A.J. Brown and Puka and a 2-man. That's where I've already, put them in. But I generally run on Prizepicks. I'm running 2-mans, and then I'm running generally 5 and 6-mans. But I'm only given a handful of plays here. If you want more of them, you can jump in our Discord through our Daily Edge Sports website and check out our tools that we do have for, of course, NFL and college football, all the sports that we do have, and then our picks that we put out every day as well. So if you want access to the rest of the picks, you can jump in there. And again, appreciate every one of you guys. Just wanted to get this video out, even though I don't feel great. And I'll see you guys on the flip side. Deuces.